There was a woman on the news last night. She was standing outside in her coat in the cold, and she was holding a candle. And the interviewer asked her, why had she come? Why was she here tonight, standing among the thousands of other people in their coats in the cold? And she said, I don't go to protests or marches. I mean, I'm just not that type of person, but I needed to be here, to stand here and say, I'm here. This is a story about Claire. Right now, Claire is sleeping. She's dreaming about her boss, who made her work overtime last night, so she was late getting home on time. She's dreaming about swimming in the fast lane. She's dreaming about a flame flickering. She's dreaming about flying. It's early Saturday morning, and Claire is dreaming about a woman she saw on the news last night. I don't go to protests and marches, I mean, I'm just not that type of person, but I needed to be here, to stand here and say, I'm here, I'm here. Claire wakes with a jolt, fit for battle, prepared to tackle. She's poised, she's ready for drama. She's got prickly skin under Primark pyjamas. Her breaths are quick. Their one-bed flat is quiet, except for the tock-tick of the clock. Her blood is pumping and her body is shocked, stock, still. What is it? Bob is sleeping beside her. Claire and Bob have menu tasting for the wedding preparation. The wedding. She gets up, thirsty and dizzy. Footfalls, floorboards, bathroom, down the hall. She's queasy, pee, flush. The mirror tells her last night was too much. The kitchen is drowned in piles of dirty dishes, almost toppled. There's plates and cups and empty bottles. It's just some fizz and some curry. It's nothing fancy, Claire, not to worry. The soon-to-be in-laws all met last night for the first time. Because that's just what's done. That's Claire's mum. I know you don't like social occasions, but isn't it about time we all met our new relations? Claire starts to make 2 cups of tea. One has a spoon of sugar in the mug with the bee. The smell of bindi bhaji floats up from the bin with the overflowing recycling. Claire looks out the window at the morning. She'd like to get away. A holiday. Take a flight. Did something go wrong last night? She has an uneasy feeling. So she mentally checklists through the evening. Everyone had arrived. They sat down, had Prosecco. They played some music on the stereo. They drank some more, got a bit merry. Oh, hashtag Bob Claire. Hashtag engagement party. Yes, that was entirely pleasant. That was just how it ought to be. But then, Bob's father asked Claire whether or not she would make a speech at the wedding reception. A pause before the laughter at this absurd suggestion. Claire looked at the floor, shook her head. There's nothing more that she would dread than making a speech as a newlywed. And Bob had said, no, our wedding is going to be a day of hopeful celebration. We don't want to turn it into a stressful situation. And Claire's mum agreed. I'll never forget the time. Claire was about 10. and she made a big fuss of doing the sponsored swim. She told all her friends, everyone at school, 30 minutes, 30 lengths in the pool. But when it came to it, she just stood on the edge, her knees knocking together, not able to budge. I don't think a speech would be a good idea, not for Claire. She's never at her best when she gets scared. But it was something in the way her friend Bex had sniggered that some part of Claire was sparked or triggered, and she wanted to say, you know what, I will make a speech. It's my big day. But she bit her tongue, and she poured herself another rum. This morning, wiping the table of its crumbs and munching on stale poppadoms, her stomach turns and twists. She does what she does when she feels like this. She distracts herself. To-do lists. Wedding dress shopping, wedding dress fitting, second wedding dress fitting, in-service place cars, florist band, first dance, watch shade, fake tan shoes, and do. Pull yourself together, Claire, this is your dream. This is your dream. Seating plan, favors, decorations, write the vows, book the DJ, vintage car, tradition. Something borrowed, wedding website, summer flowers, childcare, hair. Scared. Rustic wedding signs, shabby chic vintage. Seating plan, RSVPs, stipend, not bridesmaids, groomsmen, fun. Pull yourself together, Claire, this is your dream. This is your dream. Standing stuck, still shaking, legs sweaty palms, heart beating too loud, short of breath, open mouth. Nothing comes out, everybody laughing at me. Scared. Scared. Claire picks up a knife. Suddenly, her slipper slips, and she accidentally trips, and the knife gets thrown into the air and pivots. It lands and embeds itself into her wrist, and after a long, sharp, indrawn breath, she faints from the shock and quietly bleeds to death. But that didn't happen. Tea bag and cup, hot water poured. Claire opens the fridge door, takes out a carton of milk, but there's only one drop. There's nothing more. So grabs keys, coat on, out the door. Down the grubby stairwell, the mailbox, slack-jawed, pile of letters and crap just sprawled on the mat. The door swings, and the street outside hums, sings with buzz of spring. Bob says, fresh air brings you back to yourself. Bob works as a gardener for the council. His favourite lawnmower is the Honda HRG. He has a sweet tooth, and every day he goes to the shop by the bus stop and buys himself an apple turnover. They're delicious. while eating his apple turnover. And then the day when the bus didn't show, and Claire stood at the stop in the snow, and Bob turned to Claire and he said, I don't suppose you like to share a taxi? I think we're going the same way, aren't we? I recognize you from the 2B. You always say, thank you, driver, just like me. And in the back seat is when Bob made his move. He turned to Claire and he said, would you like to share some of my apple turnover? There is a clump of people gathered in front of the shop by the bus stop. Claire is going to have to walk through them. Deep breaths, head down. Hedgehog slippers. The slippers were a present from Bob. He bought them for her because they remind him of her, with her cute button nose and her big brown eyes. And now, whenever Bob sees anything to do with hedgehogs, he buys it for Claire. Cuddly toys, magnets, kitchenware. People at work have started doing that too, her mother and Fex and all that and such, and she was recently given a hedgehog toilet brush. Staring down with horror and disbelief, she considers going home, admitting defeat, but instead, hands in pockets, coat wrapped, she just hopes that no one notices her. She starts to blush. It's a blazing hue of beetroot. Farrow and Ball call it rectory red. Hat on over her head, she just wants to hide. She wants to curl up into a ball. She goes straight to the back of the tightly packed store. Milk, bread, newspaper, Lucasade Sports. The shop shelves are stacked, ceiling to floor, and the serpentine queue doubles back to the door. It is so slow, it could go backwards. Claire notices that some of the customers are carrying signs and placards. Up ahead, she sees that it's Donna who's on the till, and that would explain the standstill. Donna, the shopkeeper, her USP, is providing everyday bite-sized pieces of philosophy. She likes a good argument, a discussion without hostility. She says she does it to be neighbourly. She says that's why her shop is called Spar. When Bob goes to the Spar, him and Donna talk a lot. Government, bankers, paedophiles, riots, plane crash conspiracies, sugar-only diets. Donna the shopkeeper doesn't normally get that much out of Claire in the way of a discussion. Claire just normally ums and ahs and nods her head right back out the door again. When Claire gets to the top of the line, Donna comments on her newspaper headline. Heroes. Help the heroes. I know it's a tragedy. They've died or they've lost a limb or what have you. But what they were doing, was it heroic or were they just doing their job? And Claire says, well, not everyone is brave. Donna, amazed at finally getting a response from this normally timid lady. Brave! All right, being brave isn't always easy, but anyone can learn it. It's not like it's hereditary. You've got to pick your battles. You've got to stand up, stand in line. You've got to get out of your comfort zone from time to time. This lot, she indicates to all the people holding placards and signs, they are so committed. They leave here every Saturday around 9, and then they're back around lunchtime. Such a lovely day today. I wouldn't mind getting away, getting some air. Even that feeling that you're part of something bigger. Is there anything else I can get for you today, Claire? Outside, a minibus pulls up on the curb. Claire is curious. She's perturbed. She's mostly hungover. She's looking at this group of people called protesters. She notices that one of them has the same coat as her. They're chatting and they're friendly, they're drinking teas and coffees. There's no dreadlocks or incense or what her mum politely calls hippie shit. Claire's mum is not at all interested in any type of politics. Right, left, green, liberal, no, she doesn't vote. For her, campaigners are complainers, and it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, it's always the same anyway. You don't want to waste your energy, Claire, getting caught up in that circus of the media. And Claire agrees. But with shopping bags clutched in each of her fingers, she pauses for a while. She wants to know what the cause is, so she lingers. The lady driving the minibus is looking at Claire. Are you coming with us, love, or are you just going to stare? And what happens next is rather extraordinary, and in future tellings of this story, Claire will confess she doesn't know what propelled her, a higher force or a temporary madness. But she hikes up her pajama leg and clambers on the 14-seater, sits down at a window seat and starts to eat her banana. Groceries on her lap, takes out her phone, tap, tap, tap. Hi, Bob. Be back soon. You'll need to buy milk. She'll surely be back before the afternoon trip to the hotel. No one's going to miss her for a short spell. An afternoon out will clear her head. A walk in the countryside while Bob sleeps in bed. Korean, Canadian, Simony, with a PhD in psychology, is the organizer-in-chief, smiling as she sneezes. Achoo, excuse me. What did you say your name was again? She asks Claire, holding her clipboard and pen. I hope I don't share this dreadful splitter. I can't see your name on here, but no matter. Ant looks like he's going for a run. He's wearing his lycra, his hair in a man bun. He's got an iPad and an iPhone, and he's checking the navigation coordinates. He welcomes Claire onto the big stink, 'cause that's what we're about to make. Claire's not sure she likes the sound of that. Jan seems to be quite the lady, twin set and pearls under navy blue gilet. Her veined hands are adorned with old-fashioned jewellery bling. A flask of tea, a battered tin. Pass these round, dear, it's like homemade coconut buns. Vegan, dairy, gluten-free, with tons and tons and tons and tons of sugar. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of sugar. My homemade coconut bun. Claire declines politely, but Jan insists, chewing slowly on the desiccated stickiness. Her stomach turns and twists. She does what she does when she feels like this. She distracts herself. Her phone glows. Oh, photos. Tagged faces. Her heart races. Scrolling through the pictures of last night. Oh God, I hope I look all right. Bex has posted one of Claire, her eyes all bleary. Timid and fair, small and demure, the blushing bride-to-be. Blushing is in capitals, with a smiley, winky emoji. Claire doesn't smile or wink. Rereading this description of herself, she doesn't really know what to think. She looks up from the screen. And as they are exiting North Lorridale Green, the bus violently swerves. And the dozen passengers on board scream. Up on the pavement, the driver's having some kind of heart attack. The bus tips over, bang, what a crash into pedestrians. It's carnage, it's blood everywhere. There's coconut buns smattering into the air. It's all in slow motion. Claire's life passes before her eyes. Before. The explosion. But that didn't happen. Claire looks out the window. Chimney pots, rooftops, terraced houses. A lady sorts out her recycling. Two men chatting in the line at the car washing. Little girl in a pink tutu looks up from the pedestrian crossing and seems to say, hey, you know what, maybe this is all okay. Pylons, power lines. The trees are budding, the branches are sunning themselves, arms outstretched, greeting the morning. Joggers are jogging and cyclists are cycling. Old gent on a park bench stares straight ahead. Gardening weeds, dogs on leads look up and seem to say, maybe it's all okay. All the thoughts and all the heads of all the people and all the homes and all the streets in all the cities in all the world and all the world of worries, all the world of worries on their tiny shoulder, all these tiny details, these tiny people with their huge hearts, with their huge hearts. Maybe it's all okay. Claire leans over and asks Aunt, excuse me, do you know what we're going to do today? Because I feel a bit unprepared in a way. She shows him her groceries and offers him some gum. He asks her why she's decided to come. Well, the funny thing is, I just saw the bus and I got on. Nice. Impulsive decisions is sometimes what's best. Well, yeah, I suppose you could have gotten dressed. But that's it. Listen to your gut and be instinctive. It's hard to do things with too much thinkage. For me, a Saturday morning rant is as good as a run. Lets me tolerate the world so I can breathe a bit. Because I don't know about you, but I wake up and I look at the news and I get angry. And I wonder what it is that I can do every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, stand up to Trump, refugees and migrants welcome, stand up to Islamophobia and anti-Semitism, EU workers here to stay, Black Lives Matter, do or die, do, NHS, Brexit, something, because you gotta do something. I mean, it's about action, you gotta do something. Even if you don't know what the solution is, especially if you don't know what the solution is, you've got to do something. You've got a choice, you've got a voice, you've got to choose. You got to have battle. You got to test your method. You got to be prepared to tackle. You got to pick your battle. When your hackles are getting heckled, loosen those shackles or else you'll settle. I don't know about you, but I wake up and I look at the news and I get angry every day. You got to pick your battle. What's your battle, Claire? What's my battle? Last summer, Claire and Bob and Bob's mum spent a day at the Imperial War Museum. They walked among cabinets and rows, hundreds of medals for real life heroes. The highest award for bravery in Britain, all of them with the same plum-coloured ribbon, the same inscription. For valor, for valor, for valor, for valor. Each one of these Victoria crosses is an epic tale of sacrifice, losses, and as Claire moved across the parquet floor, she reads for valor, for valor, for valor, for valor, for valor, for valor, repeating a mantra of those who dared not to shy away, not to be scared. For valor, for valor, and maybe just standing near to these accolades, reading these stories of the gods, of the brave, Claire wished she could catch courageous. Claire wished that bravery could be contagious. The bus stops. They clamber off. One by one, they squint at the sun, stretch their legs and knees, and Claire feels at ease among the pine trees. Bright blue sky and the cool spring breeze. The group start to walk, and Claire follows the line, her shopping bags rustling in time. Up ahead, Simony starts a chant, and everyone joins in, and especially loud is Aunt. Claire's breathing quickens, and the sweat on her forehead starts to glisten. Claire does not now, not ever, sing. The words form in the back of her mouth, but she can't quite get them to come out. Doubts and dread have crept inside to cloud her mind. And not for the first time that day, she hears that little voice. The one that's always the first to say, "You fucking idiot." Here's a prime example of Claire's little voice. When Bob invited her round to meet his parents, Tina and Dom. Lovely people in their lovely home. And Claire arrived full of tight grins. And we sat in the front room on the good chairs and had Earl Grey tea and mint thins. And Bob's mum asked if she would like some cake. She said, "Oh, yes, please." And the cake said, "Fatty, fatty, fake, fake." And she said, "Actually, no, I'm fine." And the cake said, "Make up your stupid mind. Do you think this woman likes you wasting her time?" So Claire would sit politely, smiling. And still the cake wouldn't let her be. It'd say, why are you so quiet? Why can't you have fun? Do you think this woman would like her eldest son to be stuck with some kind of a mute heifer? If you can't be good looking, at least you could be clever. So Claire would try to say something about the news about Brexit. And Bob would look at her like, and Claire would make an exit. Go to the bathroom. Breathe in, breathe out, until Claire, Places in the Sun is on. And she'd re-emerge and have too many drinks. And then she'd be fine. Right now, walking in line towards the camp, this little voice is screaming at her. What are you doing? Get back on that bus and hide, Claire! You are in your pajamas in the middle of nowhere! And to be fair, maybe the voice had a point. But, for whatever reason, Claire stands her ground on this mud, in her slippers, despite her hangover, terror and jitters, and she keeps walking. And she starts singing. And she feels a growing sense of space, like she's escaped. Up ahead, she sees a heron. Its neck is S-shaped. She stops to look at it. Stick-thin legs, elongated egret. Standing, still, tall, undemanding, an elegant statue, a serene expression, saluting the troops as they pass through the marshland. And without warning, it lunges forward into the rushes, and in its beak it now clutches brown, furry, wriggling, writhing rat, flailing to get free. The heron shakes its head furiously into the water, out again, dips, held tight with a firm grip. But the rat doesn't quit, taking all its might not to go down without a fight, but the heron has it caught and won't let it go so easily, crushing the rodent's body, tips its head back, devours it whole, belly, legs, tail, limp, frail body sucked down into the S-shape. Swallowing slowly, lump in her throat, Claire keeps walking till she reaches the camp. The news that the bailiffs are on their way has made for a packed camp this Saturday. Some of the protesters have been living on the camp for weeks, and some have made twigloos out of twigs, and some have made tunnels, and some have eked out a living despite the afflictions of the past few weeks since notice of the evictions. One of the protesters is holding a sign. It simply says, "We say no." I always take this one with me wherever I go. It's anti-anti, you know, it comes in handy. Past the tents and the makeshift sheds of bedding and beds is the site where they're supposed to drill the wellhead. And so the protesters have built a fort here from pallets and scaffolding with more signs that say, "We say no to drilling." It sits there, almighty, the shape of a steeple. And today, protecting this DIY cathedral is a barricade of placards, bracken and people. There's bongos, campfires, chanting. There's cups of tea and brightly coloured bunting. The support groups here have been providing drinks and hot meals. There's children and dogs running around the field. It all feels a bit like a tense surprise party, but with no one quite knowing when the guests will be arriving. But there isn't too much waiting. Here comes the bailiff now. You need to remove yourself from this property, effective immediately, or else there will be consequences. And the crowd start singing. For valor, for valor, for valor, for valor. They're all singing. For valor, for valor, for valor, for valor, for valor. And they keep singing. For valor, for valor, for valor. And Jan says, for valor, we won't have any of your foul play. In the Navy Blue Gilet, this is an air of outstanding natural beauty. This won't happen here. This is our duty. For valor, for valor, for valor, for valor, for valor. You're gonna lose. For valor, we refuse to move. For valor, these are our defenses. You can't destroy our common senses. For valor, for valor, for valor, for valor. And at this precise moment, slowly, casually, rolling across the field towards the makeshift cathedral, a bulldozer appears. And the crowd go quiet. At it. Spar plastic bags in the air. Bulldozer stops, reverses, moves again, tries to get round her. She follows. Among the crowd behind her is an electricity. No one can quite believe the audacity of this pajama-clad woman. Sure, I want to, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not scared. I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not. I'm not scared. I'm not sure, I'm scared. Not, I'm not sure. Sure, I'm scared, not sure, I'm not scared, I'm not sure. Other people have joined her. First one, and then another. She's flanked on either side, all arms in the air, swaying. The bulldozer edges closer, stops, reverses, stops, revs, mud, flying, stuck in the marsh, tipped on its side. Claire sees a heron in full flight. Police van arrives and the bailiffs rush over. There must have been lots of people running around, sirens wailing, dogs barking. But what Claire remembers most about that moment was a surprising quiet, where that voice would normally have been telling her things and being mean. And though her heart was racing, and though she was shaking, She felt something like an awakening. Six packed, sat, handcuffed, hands on laps. Door slams of the Ford Transit van. That was genius, says Annette. How long have you been planning it? What was in the plastic bags? Tiananmen Square. Are the pajamas a metaphor, a protest at how women are being treated in the media? The slippers, are they dogs? Hedgehogs? Of course, because they're nocturnal. Because they sleep during the day, just like the rest of the world is sleepwalking into this crisis. The camp will stay standing. The drilling can't start. Us protectors have one more time. Joan of Arc, that's who you are. Rosa Parks in pajamas. You're a hero, you saved the day. You weren't even afraid. You were born to do it. 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 When I saw you out there, it was like some kind of trigger. I was compelled to join you. This will be all over Twitter. Hashtag pajama protester. You will be trending. Guts of you, the spirit, the nerve, that was mind-bending. Cause you're a hero, you saved the day. You weren't even afraid. You were born to do it. 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 You didn't even hesitate. Climbing over that gate, you saw your chance and you took it. With brains and brawn and battle and sure look it. We had a bit of luck, but girl, by God, it's fair to say that you have some pluck. Cause you're a hero, you saved the day. You weren't even afraid. You were born to do it. 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 At the police station, Claire is taken to have her mugshots, fingerprints done. Swab of DNA taken from her gum. Her mobile phone handed over. She tries to regain her composure while they ask questions. She's unsure of what she should or shouldn't share. She tells them about what she did. That seemed fair. They look at her with a mixture of pity and confusion. They're holding her here in a cell till the paperwork's done. She's not alone. OMG! What is this almighty mess? Did you leave your house in a rush and then fall out of a tree? I'm Emily. Are you one of the protesters? What was it? Drilling for oil or shell extractioning, fractioning? You don't know. And I thought I'd been dumb today. Shoplifting. They're holding me here till my mum comes in. She is going to flip her lid. See, I was in Superdrug. Tam was in Greg's. Tam sent me a Snapchat of steak bake in her cankin. She said, look what I just pinched for you, you're welcome. And I thought I'd get her something just for lols like, because she's my bestie. But they already had me on the CCTV. Maybelline Paris Black Mascara. I mean, it's not even as good as Midnight Sahara. It clogs up your eyelashes with all the glue. So what was I thinking? Oh. You're crying. Menu tasting for the wedding? Can't you reschedule? Like, I'm sure he's the one and all. You've been saving the world, you've gotta do what you gotta do. But, TBH, when he comes to get you, you cannot look like that. I'm sorry, but do you have some kind of a rash? Your face is on fire. You're not contagious, are you? This is what happens to you when you get embarrassed. But I do know what you mean, actually. I was absolutely a Johansson when they handcuffed me. My cheeks still blaze and burn when I think about it, actually. But the trouble is, I hear this little voice. You know the one? It just always says, "Go on, Emily, do it." And I really shouldn't listen to it, because that's normally when I do something stupid. Please don't cry. You'll be all right, you know. They'll let you out. They'll let you go. Claire sits down, looks at her slippers, starts picking mud out of the whiskers. She had watched this young shoplifter face her mother. Her eyes were wide with utter terror. One step, and then another. And at the cell door, she turned to Claire, and she said, "Good luck saving the world. It needs people like you." For the first time since this morning, Claire is alone. She misses her phone. Her stomach turns and twists, and she does what she does when she feels like this. She distracts herself. She falls into the abyss. Wedding dress shopping, wedding dress fitting, second wedding dress fitting, hymn service place cards, flowers band, first dance, what shade, fake tan shoes, hen do. It doesn't matter what you do or don't do, it's always the same anyway. We say no to drilling, decorations, vintage car, pick your battles, write your vows for valor, something borrowed, fatty, fake, you're a coward, child, hair. Scared. The world needs people like you. Scared. I always sweat when I see you nervous and fishful up, and I'm wearing pink at the service, and it will have sweat marks before I even reach the dance floor. Claire, pumpkin peaches, ignore the speeches, leave them up to the others, to Bob and your dad and Bob's brother. Let the men say all it is you want to say. You could just focus on enjoying your day. Claire, you're never at your best when you're scared. Standing stock still, shaking legs, sweaty palms, heart beating too loud, short of breath, open mouth, nothing comes out. Everybody's laughing at me, and what will everybody think of me? The hatch of the door is opened a quarter, and slided through is some sandwiches and a water. The sandwich is screaming at her. It's throwing a fit. It's telling her that she is shit. Claire looks at it, reaches out gingerly, and has a nibble. The officer peers in. It's just cheese and Branston pickle. Look, this is going to take the night the long hall. Is there anyone you want to call? Without her phone, Claire's got no numbers, except a scrunched up piece of paper inside her pyjama pocket. A receipt from this morning, as luck would have it. Hello, Donna. This is Claire. I'm so sorry to bother you. This morning, we talked about bravery, and you said that anyone can learn it. But how does that work exactly? Because I think I'm doing it wrong. Because I'm not that type of person. I don't want to be a hero. I don't want to be brazen and just go around shoplifting. I wasn't born with it. I'm just not very good at being me. Ah. Well, hello there, Claire. From the Latin, claris, meaning luminous, bright. You are a flame. And the center of a flame is blue. It's still, it's small, it's mighty, and that is in the center of you right now. Claire, step out of the shadows and into that flame. I know it's scary, but it's part of you. It's your name. All you have to do is speak your truth. And if you can do this, if you can get through this, you can do anything. If you can do this, if you can get through this, you can do anything. Anything else I can get for you today, Claire? Could you ask Bob to pick me up from the police station at New Park West? And do you have any apple turnovers left? It's morning. Bob picked Claire up from the police station after a night of intense worry and speculation. Bob is looking at Claire. He's sure he's never seen her like this before. Claire hasn't driven since she failed her test. She says she gets too nervous. For 2 years now, Bob's green Corsa has had an L plate on the back window. The corner of the sticker is grimy and peeling off. It's early Sunday morning. It's raining. And Claire is driving. I just want to say a few words. Firstly, thank you all for coming. To you, Bex, my best friend who swims in the slow lane, I'm actually a much faster swimmer than you. I just pretend to be slower because I know you want me there next to you. I'm doing the speech at the wedding. And to you, Jeff, my boss, I'm not going to work overtime for a second more than you pay me, even when it's end of month's accounts. And to everyone here today, and to you, Bob, hedgehogs. They are cute, and they are cuddly, and they roll up into a ball when they're scared. But they are also spiky and tough, and I don't want any more hedgehog stuff. I've got enough. And lastly, to you, Mum. You think I'm scared? And you're right. I am. I'm absolutely terrified. I get anxious and I imagine the worst possible things that could happen at any given moment. Like right now, see that bridge we're about to go under? It's just going to crumble, it's going to completely crush us, we're going to die in a horrible death. I'm absolutely terrified, my knuckles are white. And at this point, Bob turns to Claire and he says, Claire, I'm scared too. We all are. I won't keep you long, and I know I don't have to say anything, but I just wanted to stand here and say, I just wanted to stand here and say, and what Claire says isn't witty or clever, but it's absolutely heartfelt. And instead of that voice telling her things and being mean, she hears a song. For all the fires not yet lit, for all the times you think to quit, for all the mistakes that you will make and all the promises you will break, for all the standing up, still to be stood, for all the shouldn'ts and all the shoulds, for all the reasons not to, for all the reasons not to, for all the times you bit your tongue, the words need to be spat or sung, for all the truths that shine like gold, for all the timid and all the bold, for your own story that you can hold, 2 fingers up to doing what you've been told. Stand, you can hold your own. Stand, you can hold your own for valor. For valor. For valor. For valor. For all the voices that shake with nerves. For all the goodness that you deserve. For all the battles not yet won. For all the heroes to be sung, for all the ideas in your bones, for dancing them out, singing them home, for all the sweat, heartache and grit, for all the fires not yet lit, for valor, for valor. In the hotel kitchen, and she thinks something's exploding, but she just keeps going. And in the background, a candle flame flickers.